if you can create these fans, you have an advocate in the community, and it might be years before that customer buys again from you. But strategically, you've planted someone in that town, in that community, that is an advocate for you. And the question is, are they energized enough to speak up about you? Or are they fairly neutral about their experience? Like, they expected a 5-star experience, they got a 5-star experience, and yeah, I don't know, I just Googled and went for whoever had 5 stars.
Yo, Joshua, really fast, I want to talk about online scheduling for the trades and how they should be affordable, effective, and easy to manage. A really quick second here to share a little bit about the latest group of experts that we've teamed up with, Autobot.ai. Our team of industry experts has developed best-in-class scheduling app that seamlessly integrates with your CRM. Every booked job goes directly into your software and becomes one of our advanced marketing analytics, which is really cool. We can automatically select the marketing campaign of your choice based on how the customer came to your site.
Yeah, Tersh, those industry-leading analytics tells you everything that you're going to want to know about your lead, where they came from, what they did before scheduling, and what page they converted on, other things. On average, about 75% of people who start a booking with our app complete it, but we'll give you a more granular reporting that shows conversion rates based on marketing source and medium to help improve your marketing efforts.
So honestly, with no contracts, affordable monthly rates, and you really don't have anything to lose. And so it's a great program to try out. And if you use SBM, when you go to sign up for it, you'll actually save $1,500 on the setup fees. Honestly, give it a shot. Tell us what you think.
Today's episode is powered by Rilla Voice.
Rilla has taken those cumbersome, time-consuming ride-alongs and streamlined the entire process by leveraging AI technology to do dozens or hundreds of ride-alongs virtually every single day.
They also provide you, the owner or manager, with the top performers KPI metrics designed easily for you to coach your team into rock stars.
Schedule a demo today at www.rilla.com. Today's episode is powered by Xero Systems.
Xero is all about removing the clutter and unnecessary touch points to run your home service business profitably.
They use AI dispatching to get the right tech to the right call automatically, and job time efficiency to ensure your entire team runs like a profit-generating machine.
Get a tech upgrade for your business at get.xero.tech/service-business-mastery.
Hello, everyone out there in podcast world. Hope you're having a wonderful day. You're listening to or watching Service Business Mastery Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tersh Blissett, sitting virtually next to my co-host, Joshua Crouch. And we have Caleb on the show today with To Your Success. For anybody who has ever listened to this episode, you know that we talk a lot about automation in the trades, particularly like we talk a lot about Service Emperor, one of my HVAC and plumbing companies in Savannah. And one of the things that I like the fact that I have the ability to do is test automations in Service Emperor that Josh and I are talking about on podcast or in Facebook group. So Service Emperor is kind of a testing ground. Before we really we're hot and heavy talking about AI and automation and on the podcast, I met the guys at To Your Success. It's been years and years ago now. And we started using To Your Success, and To Your Success is actually one of the things that got my mind spinning and ideas coming out of the possibilities of things that you could do with automation. It was like we were using Service Titan, and anytime that anything was over a set dollar amount, it automatically triggered a little gift basket. And then if it was another $1,000 or $2,000 or something like that, then it was a big gift basket with a Yeti cooler or with Yeti cup and some candy, I think is what it is. And, oh, this is really cool. What else can we do? What else can we automate in this process? That's honestly, To Your Success is one of the snowball things that got me, because I knew automation during the process, during the back end, but automate to build a customer experience is not something that I ever really thought about until meeting the team at To Your Success. So I'm excited to talk to Caleb. And this isn't the first time To Your Success has been on the podcast, but I believe this is the first time you've been on the show. Correct, Caleb?
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, Tersh.
Welcome. Absolutely. Josh, is there anything you want to add before?
Yeah, I mean, Tersh and I, we share this a lot. I don't know how many times we share this story on the podcast itself, but when we go around and we talk about AI and automation, a lot of times we talk about customer journey and some of the things that both I did in the trades, Tersh is still doing in the trades, and then even at Relentless Digital, how we help automate some of these things, but automate it in a way that so it's going out automatically, but the customer continues to feel warm and fuzzy about your company. It still gives that human emotion with doing business with your company. And that stuff, it's crazy, especially now we're in 2025 recording this, and people share that stuff on social media. Then they mention your company on social media, and now the other people like that. And then it really kind of can carry, you get in front of the right person. We don't know who's an influencer in what space and all this type of thing. You can really get a lot of business off of that stuff. And then honestly, it just feels good. It feels good to make people happy. You did a great job. They left a good review. They got a box of cookies or whatever the case is. And to your success, we can talk more about what they have. But what I love is you can automate it based on dollar figures and based on what type job types. You can have different things for different job types, like Tersh was talking about. It really opens up Pandora's box of like creativity to really own that customer journey and be unique in your market.
Welcome, Caleb. Share who you are and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So oversee all of our marketing efforts. I've been with the company 13 years, and little secret, we're still family owned and operated. So I'm part of the family. My father-in-law started the business 27 years ago, and he was actually in motorhome and RV sales for 27 years before he started the cookie business.
What made him want to start a cookie business from being in the motorhome world? Like that, those things are two completely opposite things.
That's really what it boiled down to. He loved cookies, but yeah, when he went home and told his wife, "Hey, I want to stop selling motorhomes and I want to sell a cookie," she's like, "You got to sell a lot of cookies for every one motorhome that you sold," you know. But he's such a lovable man, and he loves everyone and literally looks to build others up, which actually inspired, he was led to call the company To Your Success, because his concept was, hey, if we make others successful, that's when we're really successful. The cookies came because he loved cookies, but also, Josh, one thing he did was they would actually give a dozen freshly baked cookies to a customer after buying a motorhome.
There you go.
And you know, after that huge purchase, the one thing the customer talked about most was the cookies.
Yep.
How do I get more cookies? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they loved it.
I love the fact that y'all bring a full setup to the trade shows. If anybody goes to a trade show, and you see To Your Success as one of the vendors,
cookies.
Oh,
they're amazing.
Just follow your nose.
So
follow your nose, and that'll take you right to Your Success's booth. It's just
we just need to make sure that our booth is right next to Your Success's, so
or
we get all that traffic.
The furthest away from it, so that I'm not eating all the cookies the whole time.
That's right. That's right. They're coming out hot and fresh, and we have a good time. I mean, we're known as the cookie people, and that works. I mean, we don't mind being called that. We bake. I mean, behind me, we've just baked 10,000 cookies this morning. That's usually what we do on a typical morning. So, I mean, that's actually what makes us unique, is we do freshly bake these cookies every single day and ship them nationwide. And we doubled down in the home service industry because residential home services is a perfect fit for the type cookie package we send. We put it in a branded cooler bag, or like you mentioned, the custom, tumbler, and ship it with a custom thank you card directly to the customer's doorstep. And it's all automated.
I thought that was a really awesome thing, but I was like, what else do you do? And then there was even like follow-up postcards.
It's the perfect opportunity. What we do is, we include a postage paid paper survey response request. We also email the customer asking for feedback, and it's all tied in with the unexpected surprise of the gift package, though, of, hey, we want to thank you for using us. We recently sent a surprise on its way in the mail. We hope you enjoy it. We would love to have your feedback. And so it's tied together. The surprise and delight is really the magic of it, though. We also believe that listening to the customer comments is going to help you actually learn and grow. And whether it's positive comments or honestly, there's a lot of helpful things in the negative comments.
There is.
And usually whenever you tee it up with a freshly baked cookie gift, you're much more likely to get some feedback. But I think the bigger picture, though, is the brand impact. And that's kind of what I want to talk about this afternoon, is that companies have an opportunity. I mean, I have this with as a marketer myself, we have an opportunity to differentiate by connecting with customers at a human level. And what I like is about you guys is you're talking about, automation as a holistic strategy and remembering to develop customer relationships in the process, and not just, automate for the fun of it, but to really have a strategy and to have a vision for your automation and make sure it fits into your customer experience. Because think about this, whenever you started Service Emperor, you probably didn't have a huge marketing budget. So where did most of your leads come from?
A lot of it was word of mouth.
He still doesn't. You won't even pay me to help him.
Why would I pay you?
We talked about, we came on here with like some gambling stuff because all the events are in Vegas, and Tersh told everyone how cheap he was. So just in case now everyone can listen to this and be like, Tersh is cheap as hell.
Yeah. Why would I pay Josh though?
Okay, why would you pay Josh? Because sounds like you probably don't need it as much because you're still getting leads through what avenue?
Over the years, we've put out a ton of stickers. We've stickered up everything and put out thousands of yard signs. And so honestly, between the yard sign stickers and word of mouth marketing, it's funny though, because there are so many times that we do thousands and thousands and thousands of automations a month. So sometimes somebody will ask us about something, and Josh and I are both guilty of this, where we're like, yeah, I'm not sure. Let me ponder on that. And then 45 minutes to an hour later, we're like, oh yeah, I actually do this in my business. I just forgot that we automated this because we've been automating it for years and that hasn't broken. One of the amazing things about 2 Year Success is the fact that like your team reaches out to us and says, hey, you're down to the last 10 tumblers, you reorder. And I was like, oh shoot, I forgot we did that. Like I forgot that we're sending out 200 tumblers,
Yeah.
And so it's like after the 2 Year Success thing, after we got started using 2 Year Success, in my mind really started thinking about the automation thing and like how to automate for client experience, not just to reduce the hours of office work that's being done. We got connected with Mary, who is our mobile massage therapist. And so we stepped it up. So it was like, we had 3 levels of 2 Year Success. And then there was another level that now it's like over, if you spend over like $10,000 or $12,000, immediately Mary gets an email and she schedules to come out and do a mobile massage. So then to help de-stress during a stressful time of your system needing to be replaced. And that just happened to get on a friend of mine, who's the president of the Savannah Bananas. His wife was pregnant. She was like, I really would love to have that, but I'm pregnant. So unfortunately, I can't have a massage. And Mary says, well, no, we do prenatal massages as well. She starts crying. Jared is like, wait a minute. Why is my wife crying? Who do I have to go beat up? Like, let me know. And she's like, no, it's happy tears. Like, I'm stressed right now. It's August or whenever it was. Like, I'm 8 months pregnant and they're going to come and give me a massage. And so now Jared, and I just talked to Jared the other day too, at a Bananas game. And he was like, yeah, I still mention that in every presentation that I talk about. He goes across the whole country making these presentations, talking about how his air conditioning company sent a massage therapist to his house to give his wife, who's pregnant, a massage. And it was completely automated. It happened. It was like almost a year after it happened before I found out that it happened. Like I didn't even know that it had happened. And I didn't know it until another customer said, yeah, we signed up because of Jared's story about what you did. I was like,
wow.
Oh, what's Jared's story?
That's unbelievable.
Like, I don't know what Jared's story was.
Everybody is wanting to try to do marketing things that you can track, that you can directly attribute. Okay, I paid X number of dollars. I got this many clicks and I got this many sales from that. And I think what happens is business owners, when you start out, that most of your business comes through referrals and through that organic viral marketing that is just priceless. And then as time goes on, you face these different pressures of marketing gurus coming in and being like, hey, you need to start doing this and all these different tech features, which are good. And there's a time and place for it.
I'm assuming you're
Biggest pressure.
I'm pointing right at you, Josh.
I can't tell. So
yeah.
I just want to.
The biggest.
You look like an idiot, so I figured I'd let you just run with it.
The biggest pressure is budget constraints. Yeah. And so when you start scaling, it's like, okay, how many massages can we afford? How many cookies can we afford? And you start really dialing it in. And before you know it, the accounting department's looking at you saying, hey, you spent this much on massages and cookies. And like, what was your return for that? So it takes a visionary and somebody to champion to say, hey, this is part of our brand, is our customer experience. And I, as the owner, can't be out shaking hands with everybody. And so we have to figure out a scalable, automated way to still be human and connect with people and automate something really cool, really different that connects with them in a human way. High touch, literally, with a massage type experience. Or you think about connecting with people through food. Who do you share food with? It's a friend. It's a coworker. It's someone like you break bread with people in their homes. I mean, that's a very human way to connect with people. And so that's our vision behind, like, we don't do just promotional items. Our product is freshly baked cookies. It's universal. It's food. It's memorable because people are ingesting it. They're thinking about you. They're delighted. Their kids are pumped running around the house because, you know, cookies just landed. If you can make my wife happy, you have scored a touchdown. That's exactly what you described with your customer.
Well, I like you guys put it in like branded things as well, because you get a cookie tin. Typically, you don't throw those away. You reuse them. You reuse coolers. You reuse tumblers. Like, even if you don't use them up, they're still there and you still see them. So it's this, we talk about brand impressions and constant just in front of someone. You're constantly in front of them after the fact.
That's a total part of the strategy, because when you think about a brand, really, what is your brand? Well, is it the colors and the logos? I would say that your colors, your logos, your typography, those are brand assets or brand anchors, things that people see and they remember you. But what they're really remembering is, and Steven Simple with the Wizard of Ads, he put it this way: your brand is the sum total of how people feel about you. It's all those feelings. That's who you are. That's your name. When people say your name, your company name, what do they think of? When they see your logo on the billboard, what do they feel? What does that conjure up in them? You know, I think that's where, when we do like the branded, we help you design a custom branded cooler or the tumbler to go with this gift package, because we want that feeling of eating those cookies and that unexpected surprise and delight to be strongly associated with your brand color, your font, your logo. And so we've got this totally custom package that is designed to help you in post-sale build your brand experience. And that's built over time. I mean, you guys know, like, your brand experience starts from the very beginning with advertising, to the first phone call, to when you step into the house, to whenever what do you do after the sale? Do you just get the check and leave? Right. Or do you do something unexpected and say, hey, you know what? We want an ongoing relationship with you. Like, we want to be your resource from here on out. Do you say something that makes people feel that way?
Absolutely.
And I think, what's cool, it becomes a comprehensive strategy in the long haul. I'm a big fan of remarketing, because you got to remember, like, if you can totally delight this customer, just like you did with the Savannah Bananas, he's out there now talking about you guys all over the place organically. Like, he's driven to do that without you paying for it, without you reminding him to do it. So if you can create these fans, you have an advocate in the community, and it might be years before that customer buys again from you. But strategically, you've planted someone in that town, in that community, that is an advocate for you. And the question is, are they energized enough to speak up about you? Are they fairly neutral about their experience? Like, they expected a 5-star experience, they got a 5-star experience, and yeah, I don't know. I just Googled and went for whoever had 5 stars, you know? Mm-hmm. You got to connect emotionally and energize that person to speak up, to share about you, because you just did something totally different.
Hello, home service professionals. Do you want to maximize your marketing budget? Then you need to be using call tracking from CallRail. Let's say you noticed a spike in new leads this month. To find out what's driving them, you just log into your CallRail dashboard. Is my new Facebook ad outperforming my other ads? Or is paid search knocking it out of the park? Or maybe it's time to retire those newspaper ads.
Since CallRail assigns a unique phone number to each of my marketing efforts, I know where my best leads come from and which efforts to scrap. CallRail shows you your most cost-effective marketing channels so you can get back to business. Go to callrail.com/SBMpod and try it for free.
What's up, friends? Never miss a call again. So our partners with Free to Grow, their world-class AI voice CSR platform is designed specifically for trades businesses with industry-leading integrations, dedicated onboarding team. You'll never have to worry about missing calls or losing leads again. Whether it's booking, rescheduling, answering customer questions, or escalating to your internal staff, their AI handles it all 24/7. And not only that, it can book directly into your FSM. So stop wasting time and money on leads that get fumbled. Let Free to Grow turn every call into a book job.
Today's episode is brought to you by one of our show partners, UpFrog.
UpFrog is the OG when it comes to pricing transparency online. They find system replacement leads through paid ads and have developed an entire system to drive those hard-to-find system replacement opportunities, nurture the leads, and book them into sold systems before your team arrives to help you grow your business.
Learn more at upfrog.io. I want to give a huge shout out to Marcus Storm for sponsoring today's episode.
You've heard of Google ads, Facebook ads, and SEO, but did you know that there's an entire ecosystem, like 80% of the internet, that ads can be served on that you barely heard about?
That's where Marcus Storm operates.
They leverage data science and AI to build customer profiles for your ideal customers and get your ads in front of prospects before they are ready to hire a pro, planting your brand in their minds early and often.
To chat with a team about how they can help you grow your business, visit marcusstorm.ai.
If you're a contractor with multiple CSRs, check out this Service Business Mastery podcast partner, Lace.ai. Lace uses cutting-edge AI to analyze your phone calls, uncover lost revenue opportunities, and empower your CSRs to convert more leads. You can significantly increase revenue without spending extra on marketing or hiring by using Lace.ai to boost your conversion rates. For the first time, you can gain deep insights into customer needs at scale with minimal effort. Elevate your call center to achieve industry-leading booking rates and revenue. Visit www.lace.ai to book a demo today. Now back to the show.
Absolutely. And I think that the 5-star experience, like going back to, like, I'm sure you've read like Giftology. We've all read the multitude of marketing books that like leave a brand impression in you. And what I believe personally is that we give 3-star service and expect a 5-star review. Like we've done, like 3 stars is the average. Like that's doing your job. We didn't do anything crazy. We didn't like, honestly, more people should have 3-star reviews than 5-star reviews because they're doing what was expected. I paid you to do this. You did the job. That's what I expect. The fact that you get a 5-star review just because you showed up on time is sad. That's sad that that's the state of mind that we live in. But to be able to go above and beyond and have like a 5-star plus reviews, I think it takes intentionality. And as a business owner, it's very easy to get stuck in the minutia of putting out fires and like you got into a wreck or you got like, a new design on your van that you have to worry about, or you have inventory you have to take care of and all this other things like, oh, now I need to, like, they've already paid me. Like, why am they paid us. We've had our transaction. We've had our engagement. Like, why keep following up with them, especially whenever you have a system change out? If it like in Savannah, around Savannah area, a lot of the house, not every house, but a lot of the houses have like just one air conditioning unit. So you've changed out the air conditioning unit. They're not going to need another one for 10 years. They have a 10-year warranty. Why do I keep engaging with them and follow up with them? Well, like it's for the referrals. Like, how was the experience? Well, it was great. It was what I expected. They wore shoe covers. They didn't put a hole in my wall. They showed up when they said they were going to show up. They even gave me a phone call on their way. That was all great. Oh, by the way, they engaged with me after the fact and they made sure that everything was good and made sure to follow up with me and made sure that I was comfortable and all of that stuff. And that makes a massive difference in I had oral surgery a couple weeks ago. It was emergency surgery. And
Man,
it was
I'm
a
sorry to hear
weird.
that.
We had planned it out like for the middle of the summer, but I had a crack in a tooth, and my wisdom teeth had grown in back sideways and basically broke the back teeth. And so we had planned to cut them out and put an implant in, titanium rods in. Well, I woke up and I was in immense pain, and I texted my dentist, which is a friend of mine, before he even could respond to my text. The oral surgeon's calling me and it's like, "Hey, can you be here? Like, I have an opening in an hour. I can do it." And I was like, "Bet, put me in there. I'm in." So Julie drives me down there. That's great. Within the next 2 hours, he's got it cut out, 2 titanium rods put in, sewn up. I'm back, headed towards the house. And about 3 hours later, he calls my cell phone and he was like, "Hey, Tersh, I was just checking on you." I was like, I expected it to be an automated message, and granted, that's not scalable for an air conditioning company to call the owner of the company to call every single time, but for the oral surgeon to give me a call. And then this was on, like, I want to say it might've been a Friday. No, it was like a Thursday. And then on Saturday at like lunchtime, he calls me and he's like, "Hey, Tersh, I was just checking on you." On Saturday, he does this. Like, I'm not going anywhere else. If I have to have oral surgery, that's where I'm going. If somebody has a question, Dr. Pendarvis in Savannah, that's who you need to use. He's a great guy. And it's one of those things where it's like, he didn't have to do that. If I had a problem, I would have called the office. But instead, he proactively reached out to me. And that's the kind of service that is way above like 5-star service, in my opinion. That's probably realistically, like, that's 5-star service, but based on how we scale things right now, like that's like 5.5 stars, 5, 6 stars.
But you're right. It's exceeding the expectation. The expectation is that you're going to do the job perfectly. You're not going to mess up my house. I mean, you're going to show up well dressed. You smell good. You put on your shoe covers. That's the expectation. And I think you can't engineer this, though. And as a business leader, that's where we can proactively think about, okay, how can we engineer this to exceed expectations, to train our team, and then also incorporate surprise and delight. And even in what you just experienced with the oral surgeon, you were surprised and you were delighted with that service. I mean, he didn't have to check in on you. He did a post-operation follow-up with you. And as relational as we can make it is going to directly impact the depth of impact that it has on the customer emotionally. So that's a very high touch example. And I think that's appropriate from a doctor perspective. Whenever you look at, a heating and air business, something that we've even done is taken the owner's handwriting and we have perfectly replicated that inside the thank you card. So it's just a simple message. "Hey, thank you so much for choosing us. We want to be here for you, your friends, your family. Let us know if there's anything we can help with." And that being sent and automated, I mean, they know that that's appropriate for the spend amount and it feels right to get that dozen cookies and that unexpected gift package. But the fact that they handed you a check and you didn't have to send them anything in return, but you did, you just actually sent them a thank you gift, speaks volumes, because nobody's doing that. You don't get a thank you gift in the mail. I mean, occasionally, I think I can count on my hand the few birthday cards that I get from like a car salesman or, insurance. And that stands out still.
A couple years ago, we bought a BMW from Kreitz BMW in Savannah. And they sent a tin of bird cookies to us from like a thank you gift. And it had their logo, the Kreitz logo on it and all that other stuff. But I was like, that tin sat on my island for months. I mean, way after it was empty, because it got empty quick. But it was one of those things where it's like that didn't have to happen. The experience Kreitz does a great job with client experience. And it's one of those things, like exactly like you said, they didn't have to do this at all.
And here's the thing though, it's not, there's no one aspect of marketing that is the magic pill for everything. And so what I really like to do is think of our customers' experience from, again, first advertisement to first interaction, online demo, phone call, we interact with them. Like, what are we promising up front? How are we delivering? And is there surprise and delight along the way? And then how are we remarketing to them afterwards? Okay, so imagine like you bought a car and they've made this great brand impression. You guys ate up all the cookies that was left on the kitchen table. But like, so you're energized. Now you just need to be reminded to talk to them. So it's still important to have that advertising, that remarketing, even to customers that already bought from you and are unlikely to buy again, because that's going to bring you back up in conversations. You are trying to stay top of mind to wiggle your way into the conversations with family, friends. You know, you want to be that guy they mention when they're like, oh, hey, yeah, I had a great experience with such and such HVAC. You guys should check them out. Definitely worth talking to them. That's where the remarketing comes into play, and to think about advertising, not just to new customers, but to your existing customer base that is emotionally connected with you and energized enough to speak up and advocate on your behalf. And if we can keep those conversations moving, that's gold.
Thank you to Company Cam for supporting today's episode.
These guys are changing the game for contractors with their smart photo app.
Keep your projects documented and streamline your team's communication with even your most complicated jobs.
Try it for free for 14 days and get 25% off of your first 2 months at companycam.com/SBM.
That creates so much future equity too, because, you know, if you think about the fact that, because most people now have some sort of text or email platform to try to re-engage or set up tune-ups and things like that. But if the only time we ever touch base with these customers is when we want something, so we're winning, and there's no way that the customer's winning at all or getting anything that makes them just smile when they see the company name, most like stop, unsubscribe, you know, stuff like that. Like you have to give value in the marketplace for people to want to pay attention.
That's good.
And
yes, you have to give value. You've got to be the first one to do it. And
yeah, I mean, it's worked out really well. I mean, Tersh and I give free content out every week to help people grow their business.
There you go.
And it's worked out very well for us. We've turned it into like 6 side businesses. I don't recommend that for too many people, but if you can look at things like that, because I know early on in my career, we would get done with the job, we'd move on. We would never, ever talk to that customer again unless they called us. And it was always like, well, how come the phone's not ringing today? We never really had something to bring them back into us. And then now that Facebook groups and Nextdoor communities and subreddit communities and all these other places where people hang out, this is where they share their real experiences, not necessarily on Google reviews, because Google reviews, they get those right after the time of service. They're usually pretty happy because their problem went away. What do they think about you a week, a month, 6 months, 12 months after you've been out there? They're like, man, after being here, like that company really wasn't that good. They don't care about me. They just want my money. You know, they don't feel any sort of, as you said, Caleb, an emotional connection to that brand.
Yeah. Are they energized? And I think we really try to measure things so statically, so quantitatively. Can I make a spreadsheet out of this? How many customers should I get and everything? And when you're looking at relationship marketing and your brand, it's very difficult to measure exactly how much a truck wrap got you or a website rehaul got you. I mean, you can try. You can put a tracking QR and a tracking phone number and track. And I love tracking. I'm a marketing, nerd. I love the reports and everything. But, when you invest in your brand feelings and attach it to your brand cues, it's a long haul investment. And I think you measure that by qualitative metrics. So what is a qualitative metric? Well, that's feelings. That's soul. What was the quality? What was the depth of impact from that marketing touch? It's like, yes, we have quantitative results for things like Google Ads, pay-per-click for clicks. But whenever we look at relationship marketing, we're looking for qualitative feedback. How big of the smile was it on the kid's face whenever you guys were passing out snow cones at a local town get together?
We had a podcast episode. I don't know if you've ever run across Levi Torres of High Five Plumbing, Heating and Air in Colorado. To this point, they actually measure this as a KPI for their technicians and installers. How many high fives did they get today? So it totally jogged my memory, because I'm like, because there's ways. I mean, obviously it's a unique example, but the creativity, that's the beautiful thing about the trades and these smaller businesses that maybe haven't sold out to PE yet, is everyone. I made a post about this last week about, like, because people were bitching about, sorry, I said bitching, PE and how they own everything, and like they have all these Google business profiles and they spend so much money on Google, blah, 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 blah. And they're just complaining. And I'm like, they don't have what you have, though. You have the ability to do something that actually makes an impact and makes memorable, because the PE company, typically how come your profit went down? They're just going to look at how to cut costs, profit, how to sell more. Like they're going to look at very high level metrics instead of actually things that homeowners care about. And actually they're going to talk about to friends and family and people they work with.
There's a vacuum of opportunity that's being created by very large groups that lose the vision, strong customer connections.
Wouldn't it be in their best interest to sign up for To Your Success? Like, not that this is an ad for To Your Success. Like,
it's in their interest to build those relationships. Yes.
They know the complaints are here, that it doesn't feel like a local touch anymore. And having something like To Your Success is a very low barrier to entry, a low burden on the office, like no burden almost to the office staff. And it can provide that extra touch that they're not having.
Absolutely. And there's a few groups that are honing in on this and keeping that relational touch and keeping the local brand in place and that feel and those relationships, so some people are doing an incredible job. But I think there's a lot of opportunity out there that will pop up. So as much as we fear, all the takeover, I think the inverse is going to happen in the long haul, and relationships will always win out.
This isn't the first time private equity, venture capital has come into an industry and completely disrupted it. Like we're probably one of the last industries they've really come in and disrupted. Like a medical, hospital, all these other industries have been disrupted way before we were.
Like we've seen what it did to our local hospital. Like our local hospital is garbage now. And it happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And like, we don't want that for our air conditioning companies. Like they should see that. I don't know. That's a conversation for a completely different day.
There must be enough money. Well, I've heard that, and granted, this is going a little off topic here, but like investors and investment groups, they'll buy 10 businesses and hoping one succeeds.
Yeah. I've heard that.
I don't know how. I don't like. Again, we talked about gambling. We had a little conversation before this about gambling and going to Vegas and stuff, and I don't think all of us agreed that we're not really gamblers. So like for me, trying to base my future life off of 1 out of 10, that seemed like great odds. I wouldn't stack them in that favor, but there's opportunity, and I think it's all mental.
I would rather make small progress consistently than win the lottery occasionally, because that's going to be more guaranteed and it's going to be exponential. And that's where automation comes in. You guys know all about this. Whenever you can be consistent with your customer experience, whenever you can figure out systems and processes with automation, that's when it really takes off. And I think the key is making sure that there's some kind of human element to the automation as well, where you've got that personal touch. Like we don't lose that personal touch as part of the, so Tersh, I love the idea with, emailing the massage therapist to be able to go out. What a creative idea. I mean, but just figuring out your budget, what can you spend on the customer on the back end? We usually see a spend average of about 0.5% going back into the customer experience after the sale is done, and seeing that as the marketing opportunity to energize those people, to be your advocates. So it's a huge opportunity to differentiate, and that's the key in this business.
I think what it does too, something we haven't chatted about here, is when your team knows that happens too, your technicians, your office staff, people want to work at a company that isn't just focused on bottom line, numbers. They want to feel something. They want to feel like they're part of a brand that cares about the customers they serve.
Caleb made a mention early on that, and it is very true, like 100%. It's been preached for years. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You're feeling how you made them feel is how they'll remember you. I want to emphasize how important that is for employees to know as well. Your team members need to know this as well, because you cut them off in traffic and instantly that massive billboard just pissed them off. And now that's the emotional attachment they have with your company, is the fact that you just brake checked them in traffic, or you cut them off, or it was a legit mistake where they were in a blind spot. What did you do when they came by you flipping you off? Did you flip them back off or be like, sorry, didn't see, like, I apologize, like you were in a blind spot?
That's why I drive an unmarked vehicle.
That's why you drive 10 miles an hour under speed limit in left lane with your blinker on.
Can't piss anyone off if I'm driving too slow, right? Well, I guess I could. I pissed you off. You were the passenger in the truck, too.
And I was pissed for everybody that was behind us.
Hey, some of those negative opportunities, though, are some of the best to create fans. I mean, because here's the thing. If you can respond in humility and, own it, and make it right, we all know with our personal businesses that's whenever you actually show the integrity of your brand and make an incredible brand impression that, that's wow, true. These guys messed up, but they stood behind it, and they're real people.
100%. Caleb, how can people get connected with you?
Yeah, check out our website, toyoursuccess.com. That's TOYOURSUCCESS.com. And you can learn more about our products and services. We would love to just schedule a call. So there's a button on there. You can check out our schedule and just set up a call to discuss how the automation works, what gift options are available, how we can customize your gift package, build out an automation workflow for you. The cool thing is our pricing is really reasonable, and we do everything for you, from helping you set up the automation rules. You just give us an idea of who you want to send to. It's very controlled, and then we help you even design the product. We manufacture it. We stock it for you. We bake the cookies fresh. We ship it to the customer. So it's pretty much ready to go.
They're good cookies.
Oh, man.
And
we'll send you a sample.
Cookies, I will say. It's great.
Really good. And as a customer, a paying client, I want everybody to understand that To Your Success is not paying me to say this. You can send me cookies though, as much as you like. I'll get with you.
Send them right before next week, because we're going traveling together, and I'm hoping he brings the tin and you can share at least one.
Yeah, hard pass on that.
Gotcha.
No, I'm just kidding. You mentioned that the setup is a painless process, and I will vouch that it legit. I feel like it was a 5-minute long meeting, and we just went from that. And your team does a great job with following up, because I know that whenever I signed up, I think it was during a busy time of the year, and I just missed the emails a couple times, but you didn't give up, and you weren't like overly pushy or anything like that. You're like, hey, we want to send this out. I just need to get your approval on it. And so I was like, oh yes, my bad, sorry. But you like just staying on top of things, and your team is always so delightful to deal with. And so it's not that's not the case with every company. And I want to give a good shout out to Your Success for that.
I appreciate you saying that, Tersh. If we don't make you guys successful, then what are we doing? You know, so that's the whole goal.
Cool, man. We appreciate you hanging out with us 100%, Caleb. Is there anything you want to add before we wrap things up?
No, I appreciate you guys too. And, you just remember everything you do in your personal relationships to strengthen those relationships, express gratitude to people that you love or care about or want to grow with. That same concept applies with our business relationships, expressing gratitude, breathing life into people, having a culture with your team that cares about people. It's all the same stuff. It's pretty basic, old fashioned concepts, but we can use automation to build it out and engineer it. And I think that's where the opportunity is. So I appreciate you guys having me on. Love what you guys do.
For sure. Absolutely. If anybody has any question at all, don't hesitate to reach out to Caleb. Yeah. If you have a question about To Your Success and you, for some reason, don't want to talk to Caleb, reach out to me. I'm an open book. Don't reach out to Josh. He doesn't check his emails. So that's it. I hope you have a wonderful and
Says the
safe
guy
week.
with an email autoresponder via AI and Zapier. So
Shh, at least mine gets checked. We'll see you later. Have a good week.
Oh, man. See ya.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Service Business Mastery. Now that you are equipped with essential business advice from this impactful conversation, you are one step closer to becoming the successful owner of your dreams. If this episode has been helpful to your business journey, don't forget to subscribe to the show, leave a rating, and share it with other owners as well. Visit servicebusinessmastery.com to learn more.